top of the spray header that indicates the direction the nozzles are spraying in. So you don't have to guess at if the nozzles are in the right direction, spraying in the right direction. That little bar will tell you the direction the nozzles are spraying in. This is a photo of a slide of inside of a wash box showing you the nozzles and what the inside looks like. This is a little demonstrator piece that I used to carry with me to pass around. It shows you the stainless steel brushes and the nozzle. And here's a breakdown of the assembly of the nozzle. You got the retainer ring, you got the plug, you got the nozzle, and you got the gasket. Make sure when you put the nozzle, because the nozzle is octagon, that you put the nozzle in a correct position. Because if you put it in the wrong position, it's not going to spray correctly onto the belt. And it won't properly clean the belt. Make sure it's a flat fan spray effect. The wash box brushes that contain the mist within the wash box. We used to use cloth seals. We used to use rubber seals. One of our engineers, a little story to go with this, was he was following a UPS truck home, and that's where he came up with this. So you get your ideas from all over the place. There's a slide of where the wash box seals are located. You remove the gray cap, slide the brushes in and out. When you replace the seals, you could push them in part way. Because the belt's on there, you're going to have to tap them in the rest of the way and put the gray cap back on. Your wash water solenoid, ASCO recommends every 3 to 6 months you periodically take it apart, examine it, and clean it. Your gravity side seal, it's a extruded rubber seal. When it no longer contains the sludge within the gravity section, you need to replace it. One guy could pull it out, you need 2 guys to replace it because the seal is embedded in a tube with a slot. One guy tries to put it in, it gets hung up on a slot. So you need 1 guy to guide it, 1 guy to pull it. Your grid support bars are found in both the gravity and wedge zone. Typically you get 5 years per side. Once the tube wears flat, you rotate it a quarter turn. 4 turns, take it out, throw it, get new. Blades are reversible. When one side wears out, the scraper blade should be reversed. Once both sides have been used, the scraper blade should be replaced. Here's a slide of what the new and improved scraper blade is like. On the lower scraper blade, the 2 very end bolts do not go through the scraper blade. They hold the 2 metal plates together. Just loosen them up. Once you take the bolts out of the scraper blade, that will let the blade come out. The upper one, just take the bolts out. Your hydraulic power unit, filter. Whatever the manufacturer recommends, I believe it's after the first 250 hours, you remove the filter, drain the oil, and replace. Filter belt preventive maintenance. We recommend that filter belts may be high pressure washed with either a mild detergent or a polymer solvent. A lot of plants now are using a polymer solvent to help clean their belts. Replacement of the filter belt should be considered if performance drops off from permanent blinding or wear. Frayed edges can be resealed with a hot knife or iron. Filter belt blinding is an indication that the sludge solids are embedded or are being squeezed in through the weave of the belt, also known as sludge extrusion. When water can no longer pass through the blinded belt, the water washes the solids out the edge of the belt. It follows a path of least resistance. We also call this sludge migration. No thicker than a 1/2 inch cake coming off the discharge of the press. The startup sequence. Manual mode. When you're in manual mode and you're operating the press, the operator assumes complete control of all start-stop functions. Alarm conditions will energize an audible and visual alarm indications. Conditions to be confirmed by the operator before starting. Make sure all your sludge is available and all the valves are open. You've got a lot of pneumatic valves that are put in place, so make sure all the valves are open. Same thing with the conditioning chemical, your polymer. Make sure all the valves are open. Don't assume nothing, especially with if you got contractors working around the building. It's very possible that they're working on something and they close a valve and they forgot to open it. So make sure you check all the valves. Same thing on the wash water pump. Make sure all the valves are open from the suction to the discharge. Power to the panel is available. Open up the conditioning tank drain valve. Lower the desired amount of row of plows. Next, you would start the hydraulic pump. Open up the wash water solenoid valve. Start the wash water booster pump. Then start the belt drive. Set the desired belt speed. Then you can start your pressure belt drive. Set the desired speed for that. Wait until the wetted portion of the belt passes beneath the sludge introduction point before starting this polymer and the desired pump speed. And after that, you could start the sludge pump and set the desired flow rate for that. Close the conditioning tank drain after the sludge has been flocked. Once you flock the sludge, close the drain, let it come up on the press. Then you could start your hydraulic cake pump. Now the cake pump starts in two different things. You're going to start the hydraulic power unit down near the bunker. And then once you start discharging into the cake hopper, you will take it off a bypass and go into what they call load. You will start loading the cake pump. And that will turn on the two screws and start the rams pumping. Then you can monitor press operations, making minor changes to the belt speeds, the sludge pump flow rate, and the polymer flow rate, and possibly the belt tension. When you go into shutdown in manual mode, these are the steps you want to take. You want to stop the sludge feed pump, then stop the polymer pump, open up the conditioning tank drain valve, raise all the plows for cleaning, allow the belts to completely discharge sludge and wash down the entire belt press. Unload, all right, that's been corrected. I got to change it in this. They said you put it in bypass. I thought it was said unload, but it's actually put it in bypass, the cake pump. Then you can stop the hydraulic cake pump power unit, stop the wash water booster pump, close the wash water solenoid valve, stop the gravity belt drive, stop the pressure belt drive, stop the belt press hydraulic power unit, then get the press ready for the next operation. Semi-automatic belt press is controlled by a single start-stop cycle control. This control, along with the status and alarm contacts, provide inputs to the programmable controller, the PLC. The OIT screens that you're going to be looking at. First one is the main screen. On the main screen, we put the model number. It's a GRS XL 2 meter series 3 press. We put the job number S4042. We put the serial number. It's the 1183rd press in that series. The next screen is called the overview screen. It's an overview of all the operation. And again, it's a touch screen. So when you touch a picture, it will open another screen up. Upper left-hand corner, we give you the belt press number. Presently, we're starting up belt filter press number 4. We give you the date and the time. Then the yellow box, it says BFP ready. Then we got the 3 lights below that, which is stopped. When you're running, it'll say running. We got the auto start button, auto stop button. Next to those buttons, you got a hand and auto selector switch. And next to that button, we got a local and remote selector switch. And the 2 lights above those will either say local, remote, or auto and hand. Even though it says it's in hand and the top button says auto, this picture was taken when they were testing things. So, over on the left side of the screen, the lower half, you got the polymer pump and the sludge pump. When you touch that picture, another picture will pop up, which I'll show you. Then you got your hydraulic pump on the right-hand side, wash water solenoid, wash water pump, the belt drive with the feet per minute, and you got your cake pump. And down below, you could cursor down, you could touch one of those keys down below and open up any one of those screens. The BFP ready screen, if you touch that, what they call interlock screen will pop up for automatic mode. This screen will appear. If one of those are not okay and the press is not in auto, it will say interlocks not met, and it'll tell you which one of those is not okay. You can go to the SCADA screen, make it okay, and then the press will be able to operate in auto. This is called the belt drive screen. So when you touch the belt drive picture on the overview screen, the screen will pop up. And on this screen, you got hour meters and you got the speed indicators. If you touch the speed indicators, another screen will pop up and allow you to change the speed of the belt drive, whichever one you touch, either gravity or pressure. Gravity belt, 0 to 50 feet per minute. Pressure belt, 0 to 20 feet per minute. It reads out in feet per minute and also hertz. And then you got your hydraulic pump, hour meter, and then you got your run jog. When you get a major misalignment, belt misalignment, you can put it in jog to help get the belt back. Jog overrides all your alarms. And then you got your start stop functions, and then stop and running lights also. And then you got your wash water pump screen that pops up. On your wash water pump screen, you got your hour meters for the cake pump and for the wash pump. You got your start stop buttons, your running light. Then you got what they call a bypass on the wash water solenoid. This is something Bob Maynard wanted. When you get a belt misalignment, you can put it in bypass and the water will continue running. If you touch it, it will go into the normal mode that you'll be running when you're running the press. Sludge pump screen. When you touch this sludge pump or the polymer pump picture on the overview screen, this screen will pop up, and it got the hour meters up top. You got the speed indicators. When you touch those, another screen will pop up and allow you to change. For the sludge, it'll allow you to change the flow rate. On the polymer, it'll give you the percent speed of the pump. And it's got the indicator lights, as the other ones did, and you got your start-stop functions. This is the setup screen. On the setup screen, you can do many things. The cycle set points for auto, for pre-wash, for third stage start, post-wash, for cleanup, and third stage stop. And they're settable by just touching them. Another screen will pop up again, allowing you to change the timer. Next to that, you got your alarm set points for low water pressure, broken belt, and sludge feed flow rate. And they're also settable. By touching them, another screen will pop up, allowing you to change the times. Next to that, you got what they call bypass. If one of those three items has failed, because they're switches, you could temporarily bypass the press. By touching that, it will go into bypass mode, allowing you to operate the press while you get replacement parts. Now, the OIT configuration screen you should positively stay out of. That is for Combine Sanderson use and the IT people's use. Below that, on the bottom half of the screen, you got the elapsed time meter resets and totalizer resets. So you could, for the elapsed time meters, most of the people use those for purposes. You could, once you do maintenance, you can reset them. Next screen is your alarm screen. Whenever you get an alarm, this banner will pop up on the main screen. It'll give you the date, the time, and whatever the problem is. Lower right-hand corner, you got it says no alarms. When no alarms are present, it'll look like that. When you have alarm, it'll say alarm present. And you also got an acknowledgement and reset button on that screen also. Then we got what we call a help screen. It's divided into two pieces. The top piece, we got overview, start, stop control, setup, PLC, and alarm. If you touch that box, a green box will appear around the outside of it. If you go down to the up and down arrow keys, you can cursor down to the one you want to see, hit the enter button, and the help screen will tell you what to do. If you want to look at one of the bottom ones, you touch that bottom left-hand box, cursor down to the one problem that you want to figure out, hit the enter key, and the help will come to the right. This is called the PLC screen. The top portion is the PLC main control panel, and then the bottom half has the two gravity belt and the pressure belt VFDs. No longer does the maintenance electrical IT guys have to open up the panel to troubleshoot the PLC or the VFD. I know previously on some of the panels we supplied, after about a year you open it up, it looked like a rat's nest. They don't have to do that. They can troubleshoot it right from the OIT. All right. By touching the VFD pictures, another screen will pop up and they can review all that's going on with the VFDs. Same thing with the PLC. If you can touch the digital output or the digital input or output slots, another screen will pop up and you could troubleshoot it from there. Belt press general information. If the compress is idle for an extended period of time, it is advisable to run all components for at least 1/2 hour each month, bringing motors and gearboxes up to normal running temperatures. In the following slides are some pictures of some presses in operation. That's the flock formation I'd like you to see. Nice clear water, nice good popcorn sized flock, and it dewaters readily. And the following slides are some of the what the gravity zone should look like. Start seeing the white of the belt, even though we got a different style plow on these slides, you can get the idea. Smaller press, different kind of sludge. This is a photo of a press that's overdosed. Big flock, discoloration. That's it. Okay, we'll continue with the operations and maintenance manual. There's 4 copies of these that's going to be made available to operations and maintenance. In the O&M book, it's broken down into sections. First section would be introduction to safety, which we covered on the PowerPoint. Next section is receiving and handling. Basically, we put that in there for the contractor, so he properly takes care of it if he puts it in storage and when he installs it. And the next section is for long-term storage, if he's going to store it. Then we get into customer service. He has to fill out some forms to get us here. And operation, we cover everything about the operation of the press in sections 5. 6, we put our warranty in there. I think basically, yeah, that's warranty. And maintenance. And then section 7 is the parts. Section 8 is the certified specifications. It tells you everything you want to know about the press, the model number, how heavy it is, what the press is made out of, and all the components. Section 9 is all your commercial components, all the motors, everything that's made, manufactured by somebody else that we didn't supply, that we supply. And then section 10 is all your mechanical and electrical drawings. All right? That covers your O&M book. You have 4 of those. And the other item I want to talk about is this laptop. This is a military ballistic armor protected Dell computer that's going with the press. And basically what this press is intent for was if the maintenance department had to work on the press on the other side of the wall, because main control panel's going to be on one side of the wall, press is going to be on the other, they could use the laptop to hook up on the side of the press, and they could see the same screens that are on the main control panel, and they could operate and do whatever they want from this laptop. Now that we're done here with the PowerPoint presentation, we're going to go out and review the actual press up on the second floor of the press building. Morning, my name is Tom Mascola. I represent Comline Sanderson Engineering Corporation out of Peapack, New Jersey. We're here today at the Upper Blackstone Wastewater Treatment Plant to do belt filter press training. We're at the main control panel. We're going to go over the OIT screens. The first screen that you're looking at is what we call the main screen. On the main screen, it gives you the belt filter press number, which is number 4 that we're working on, the model number, which